Hi, my name is Quintin Berry. I would like for you to check out my interview and all the other interviews on forbassplayersonly.com. My musical upbringing started actually in school. I started out playing violin, but I took violin because I was in the course. I took music and playing drums, piano.
Growing up where?
In Greenville, South Carolina. And it all started then, and I joined the band at 12. And they asked me if I wanted to play guitar or bass, and I said bass. I didn't know what a bass was, so I chose bass. But we all know what the music that came up in the 60s, 70s. And so I grew up with that, but at the same time, I crossed over to the rock and roll stations. I was listening to a lot of Rod Stewart and stuff like that because my mom liked it and my brother turned us on to a lot of that stuff. It was cool, so I had a lot of, I was diverse at a young age already anyway. Basically self-taught. I taught myself how to play bass. But with all the training and stuff that I had in school, it helped me out. So it wasn't that hard for me to figure out what I needed to do because what they teach you in school, it applies to life, actually. So it was easy for me to teach myself how to play bass because I watched a lot of folks. And Larry Graham, Brothers Johnson, Heatwave, but one of the guys that touched me at a young age was Wizard from Mother's Finest. I got to see him play at the Electric Warehouse in Greenville, South Carolina, and I was about 13, 14, and he blew my mind. He turned me out. That's where my rock and funk influence came together when I saw that band. And ever since then, I've just been kind of wild.
Well, I'm sure you get this question 1,000 times, and I've seen you play. I saw you play tonight, and you remind me of Dizzy Gillespie, how he had his special trumpet and with the cheeks that came way out. And in a way, you're like the Dizzy Gillespie of the bass because you do it your own way and you got your own thing. But how did that come about, holding the bass almost upside down, or is the way that you do it? What's that all about?
You have to understand, like I said, at 12, before I joined the band, I was taking violin. So I was playing violin during that time. And I just one day just decided to just mess around and play like that. And at that young of age, I don't have no purpose or no reason to do anything. You just do it for the fun of it. But it stuck with me, and then as I got older, I stopped doing it. Then I started back and I stopped. And as I got older, I just decided I want to play like this. And as soon as I did that, I started getting, hard time or flack from agents telling me, hey, man, that don't look good. You shouldn't play like that. So I kept playing like that, and I just took it to the bank.
The rebel in you, huh?
Yeah, I just did what I wanted to do, and I practiced, and to this day, it is what it is now. It's not a gimmick, that's how I play.
And how did your career get rolling? What kind of stuff were you doing initially?
I was in a cover band at a young age, but we played original music. I decided to just keep playing covers because it made me a lot of money. But I've always wrote my own music. I've always had my own songs and everything, so it was pretty cool. That's what I do today. I play covers and I write music. I do both.
Tell me about Ugly Stick.
Ugly Stick is a band that I met, and we I met them in 2006. I joined them in 2006. And I heard about them through a friend. We play a lot. To this day, we're not playing that much. The singer, he has a solo album out. He does acoustic stuff, so he's out doing his thing. So
his name is
Eric Erdman,
right.
And so it makes the band suffer because he's doing his thing. He's the lead singer of the band, but it's all good. You know, everybody should do what they got to do, and either it comes back around or it don't. So basically, that made me decided I need to start focusing more on me, and now I'm doing more solo stuff myself.
So tell me about that. What all is keeping you busy these days?
I do a lot of my own stuff. I do a lot of instrumental stuff around the Mobile area, which I want to take it everywhere. And I'm working with a young lady. Her name is Shauna P. She was on The Voice. And she has a lot of good things going for her. And so I might be touring with her once they get that together. If they get it together, I'll be on tour with her. But until then, it's going to be all Quintin Berry doing bass solo stuff with my tracks and maybe a little singing. We'll see about the singing part, but basically tracks and doing a lot of cool stuff and instrumental stuff. I can do an hour so it won't be boring.
What about the future? What else, in addition to what you just said, is there something else you'd like to do that you haven't already accomplished?
Yes, I want so badly to write for video games. I want my music on video games. I watch, having young stepkids, watching them games and seeing what you could do. I like to play with my music, and that's a perfect thing to do it with because you can have so much fun. You don't have to please nobody. You have to please the game. Basically, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The music has to go with the game, and you could be as far left or as far right as you need to, because it's a game. That's the way. It could be as much noise in some spots if you wanted to, because it's a video game. If you can make it fit, so I really want to do that.
Last question: what would you be if you were not a bass player? And you can't say a composer or video games or anything. It's got to be something outside of music.
Believe it or not, like Larry Lee, he was a professional football player. I had a scholarship at South Carolina State playing football. I got hurt.
What position?
And I was a split end. And I hurt it cracked everything here, so I couldn't play no more. So I didn't even go to school. I just forget it. I just went straight to music and finished my music career. So I probably would have played sports for sure.
All right. Quintin Berry, Q, Mr. Q.
Q.
People ever get you confused with Quincy Jones?
No. You got too many hits.
Yeah. Hey, it's great catching up with you. Always a pleasure and a joy to see you play.
Thank you.
Your unconventional style, and you even work in some of the conventional style as well.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. Much luck and continued success to you always.
Thank you very much.